Isagi is trying to get up from his previous fall in the last chapter as we see the two systems within the PXG team. The offensive system built around Rin has Tokimitsu and Nanase. Tokimitsu following Rin looks pretty rational to me since he has quite some experience under his belt when playing with him in the second selection, even though he wasn't in a particularly good mood with his teammates. I'm not too sure if that has changed now or not, but Tokimitsu decided to follow along with Rin anyway. Nanase is following Rin as well. In his case, it might be because of his status since he's Itoshi Sei's brother and #1 ranked in the Neo Egoist League itself right now, as well as being regarded as the best for a very long time. Nanase has gotten a taste of his excellence firsthand when he played alongside Rin and Shido in the third selection, even though Shido and Rin seem to be pretty even there. In Chapter 99, Rin smelled a goal as he used Shido's movements as a counter and took advantage of the one moment when his motions would be hidden from the goalkeeper, which sounds a lot like Predator Eye, if you ask me. And in Chapter 102, when Rin was battling it out against Karasu, he shot the ball into the right upper corner whilst being marked. The offensive system around Shido has Tokimitsu and Karasu. Zantetsu might have just got to know Shido better as he spent time with him inside of the Neo Egoist League, as it would seem that he's choosing to have chemical reactions with him. In Karasu's case, I think that a big reason for choosing to ally himself with Shido could be the fact that he actually played against him in the third selection. In Chapter 98, Shido scored a goal with his back heel as he wasn't even looking toward the net, which is a highly instinctual goal. In Chapter 101, Shido asked for the ball from Isagi. Isagi didn't think he could do much from that spot, but much to his surprise, Shido made a roulette using the body of that Team B player to shoot the ball into the right upper corner. Chaos is the result from the opening kickoff onwards. Facing an explosive Rin and Shido double standard system, how will Isagi and Bastard Munchen deal with this unpredictable team? Isagi says to himself that they prepared countermeasures against both systems, but he didn't expect them to deploy both systems simultaneously, as it felt like Loki took a huge gamble there since the team wasn't used to it, and Rin and Shido don't really have a history with each other to be too proud of either. It's like playing a new video game whose degree of difficulty is entirely unknown as Choppa throws the ball onto the pitch. Tokimitsu taps the ball as Grim is trying to press on him. Meanwhile, Raichi urges the Egoist to not slack off on defense as he'd kick their ass otherwise. However, Hiyori urged Raichi to not lower the back line so that they can limit their options. The reason it would limit their options is because if they were to drop back, the PXG guys would get more room to move forward as a result, which would put more pressure on the Egoists. Of course, the opposition could get in between gaps if you've got a higher backline, but it would be easily noticeable and dealt with in most circumstances. Everyone understands the situation and is adjusting on the fly, but they're just barely hanging on as Tokimitsu passes the ball to Nanase. On top of adjusting to their formation, the most important thing for the Egoists to do is to not let that guy roam and play freely. And the person Isagi is referring to here is no other than the French prodigy Charles Chevalier, who is the league's youngest playmaker. The others also knew that as soon as Charles has the ball, PXG's offense shifts to an entirely different level, and that's why they're constantly watching every move he makes. Isagi suddenly comes to a realization as he's observing Charles carefully. He realizes that Charles wants to ball, even though his timing seems to be off. Raichi is only looking at Charles' his feet, though, as Isagi is convinced that he's going to try and pull something off here. And the reason he knows is because Charles also has metavision without a doubt, as we get a side view of his face and eyes. This gives me all the more reason to think that Charles will get confirmed as another Next Gen 11 soon enough. Charles is trying to dash past Raichi through his left side as Isagi realizes that Charles shook him off, and this would be the perfect time to receive the ball as this is the timing that Charles was aiming for. Raichi doesn't seem to be able to reach it, however, Isagi did reach it as he successfully intercepted the pass before it could get to Charles. Isagi was right on the money as Charles looked impressed. If you're enjoying this video so far, consider subscribing. He told Isagi that he was terrific as he said something about his hairstyle. Isagi told Charles that he is rather fond of this hairstyle though, as Charles asked Isagi if he has those eyes too, which enables him to see the game like he does. Isagi would be a terrific midfielder and playmaker if he wanted to. Charles told Isagi that he likes playing against a tactician over a physical brute as Grim passed the ball towards Ness. Charles challenges Isagi as he wants to see who takes control of this this match, which ends up in Isagi calling him a cheeky, arrogant little brat. Meanwhile, Ness passed the ball towards KAISER as Ness told KAISER to initiate their plan. He is running right behind KAISER now, as Ness said that they've been simulating PXG's attack, which means that Ness and KAISER have trained together whilst thinking about all the probable things that Isagi can do within a match. They've seen his behavior patterns for a while now. Since they've been playing together for a bit, they predicted that Isagi is going to drop back more to help out on the defense. And while Isagi deals with their attacks, KAISER, Grimm, and Ness will pick up any loose balls and instantly hit them on a counter, which would give Isagi less time to react to their plays. They swiftly break through the midfield while Ness provides the final pass with a little bit of magic. KAISER passed towards Grimm, and Grimm passed towards Ness as he tapped the ball. Tokimitsu is trying to get in Ness his way now, as it doesn't seem like Tokimitsu has gotten much of his confidence back at all, as he said that he has already caught up to him, with that shitty look on his face. And yet here I was getting my hopes up on Loki to fix this part of his personality, because it's more annoying than seeing KAISER choke himself. Ness gets frustrated as he realizes that Tokimitsu has blocked the passing lane. He wonders if he should take him on and blow right past him, but he couldn't afford to waste time on him because Isagi would read him if he did so as Zantetsu dashes towards Ness. It seems like their master plan is already going into the trash can, and here I hoped that they would come up with something more phenomenal. Zantetsu missed his tackle, though, as Ness managed to pass the ball to KAISER. KAISER reckoned that it was a perfect pass as he told Ness to leave the rest to him whilst getting into metavision. However, Nanase and Karasu are quick to block off his path towards the goal. Karasu asks Nanase to get out of the way as this one is his, as we see the Rin and Shido systems colliding with each other. Karasu told KAISER to show him what he got as he calls him a mediocre royal highness. Nanase tells Karasu to back off, though, as he's convinced that the ball will be his. Nanase is very desperate to survive, and now we can see the same dog-eats-dog mentality from Bastard Munchen back in the PXG team, unlike the lukewarm place that Baru was bathing in, or FC Barcha, who seemed to just be friendly with each other and have fun. KAISER doesn't look too impressed, though, as he told the egoists that two defenders who are quickly moving in to block his shot looks pretty textbook, and another defender is hanging back just in case he breaks through. This would mean that there are other spots in the field that are open, which could potentially mean that we will get more combinations from KAISER and Ness in front of the goal. However, it doesn't look like KAISER has any plans to pass the ball, as he told the egoists that he has seen through their plan. KAISER reckoned that it is time to destroy all of them, as he was dashing ahead without any hesitation. Karasu stretched out his arm in an attempt to get KAISER off balance, but KAISER just tapped the arm away. Nanase tried to step in, however that failed miserably, as well as KAISER tapped the ball outward. He's using the Predator Eye now as he finally sees the golden opportunity to score a goal. However, as soon as KAISER was in the motion of his KAISER impact, he was stopped by Itoshi Rin, as he told him that he was a lukewarm blue rose. I don't think most people feel the gravity of Itoshi Rin literally intercepting the ball from someone who probably has the fastest shooting motion in the entire Blue Lock verse. KAISER, Ness, and Isagi are looking very surprised as Rin told him that he's nothing if he could destroy that precious shot of his. KAISER shakes off Karasu and Nanase, but at the last second, Rin swoops in and steals the ball, preventing the KAISER impact. As the action swings back in the other direction, all eyes are now on Blue Lock's #1 Itoshi Rin. Watch this video next, where I talk about why the Bastard Munchen versus PXG match will be epic.